Hey, everybody, welcome. It's a weekend check-in edition of Daily Distinction. Really glad that you are here today. Thank you. Out in the backyard, just working on the plans and the preparations for the Distinction Summit coming up next weekend. This time next week, we'll already be well into the program. So if you haven't signed up yet, now is the time to do it. We'd love to have you there for the Distinction Summit. It is next weekend. Talking about how you stand out and earn more. It's got the swag cap and everything else, and would love to see you there. Stand out, earn more. The Distinction Summit coming up next Friday, Saturday, and half a day on Sunday. Just go to distinctionsummit.com. You can see all the great guests that we're going to have there and learn a little bit more about what we're going to be doing. There's a couple of videos there that you can check out that talk about, why it's so important to you, what you're going to learn, what you're going to take away. The really cool thing is we've developed this distinction blueprint. And it's like, think of like being an architect. And there are rules about a blueprint, and you follow those rules. I mean, they don't have new rules for every blueprint that they make. There are certain specifications to the blueprint. But yet you design your own structure. And so we're going to help you through that process. We're going to show you the rules of the blueprint and the cornerstones of the foundation, but we're going to help you design your own blueprint for distinction. You're going to come away with a lot, I promise, in this program. And you get $100 off your registration fee. Just use the coupon code DISTINCT2020. DISTINCT2020 will get you there. Hey, just a short check-in, and I've got a check here. Sorry for me to do this while we're talking, but it didn't pop up. My computer went on the fritz right before we started, but I want to show you something. Because if you haven't checked yet, I did a post on Facebook about a program. My pal Larry Wingett and my pal Mark Sanborn, the three of us were on Zoom yesterday, and they just couldn't believe that I had not seen the documentary on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. And I really, really want you to check that out. Oh, you thought that was a green screen, Joseph? No, that's right there. That's the backyard. So go ahead. Hey, Charles, got blue skies in Silicon Valley. Oh my gosh, I hear you. My garage is calling as well, but my darling bride has decided that we can wait till after next weekend before we tackle any other big projects. Scott, always great to see you from back home. Hope everything is good with you. Donovan, great to see you stuck in road construction traffic in Indianapolis, my home. As we say in Indianapolis, the seasons are summer, winter, and road construction. That's about it. Hope you get through there. My guess is you're either on I-70 or I-465 right now. Hey, Ted, great to see you. Looking forward to seeing you next weekend with the program. Hey, by the way, Donovan, one of the things I always think is interesting, when I moved out west, like here in Las Vegas, we say you're going to get on the 15. And when I lived in the Los Angeles area, you get on the 405 or you get on the 5. And back in the Midwest, we never say you get on the 65. I got to get on the 70. You say I-70. I'm getting on I-70, get on I-65. I've always wondered why it's different, even though it's the same thing. I've just never understood that. Anyway, here's what I want to check in with you about this weekend, and that is this incredible program that I watched through the inside of Larry and Mark, and it's called The Social Dilemma. And I realize it's incredibly ironic for me to be promoting this show as you're watching on Facebook or on Twitter. It didn't talk much about YouTube, but I'm sure that's there as well. Because it talks about the prevalence of social media and how disruptive and destructive that it can be. But there are things in there. I mean, they even have the guy that invented the like button on Facebook. That's weird to think about for me, for one thing, is that somebody created the like button. And to his point, the intentions were incredibly honorable. It was to share goodness and to share likes and to share, and the fact that we've become a destructive force in the sense that teenagers judging their own self-worth by how many likes they get for a picture, or competing against somebody that you got more likes than I did. It never dawned on them, never crossed their mind. But yet it has become a very, very challenging situation. And I'd really like for you to watch it because it's remarkably powerful. And it hopefully initiates a discussion that we all need to have about how much influence is all this not only having in our lives, but in our economy, in our democracy, in many things. Hey, Mark, great to see you from Toronto. Hope things are great for you up there. Oh, well, I want to share my screen with you for a second here because I did this post earlier today on Facebook, and I don't know if you saw it or not, probably not, but there is the post that I did on Facebook. And if you take a look, it is a quote there, and it says, "Our culture has accepted two huge lies. The first is that if you disagree with someone's lifestyle, you must fear or hate them. The second is that to love someone means you agree with everything they believe, say, or do. Both are nonsense. You don't have to compromise convictions to be compassionate." Wow, what a fabulous quote. And as you can see there, the picture is Dave Chappelle. And there's a problem with that. Dave Chappelle never said that. And I put that on there as kind of a testimony of what they talk about in the documentary. That's a quote from Pastor Rick Warren in an interview that he did with Christianity Today magazine, I think in 2012. But it's not a Dave Chappelle quote. I posted that, and I got a couple of shares from people sharing the picture and the quote without reading what I wrote that said it wasn't true. So they are perpetuating that this whole falsehood. Now you take that times news stories, or take that times all the other things that are out there, and we begin to see how getting to the truth or getting to what really matters becomes so challenging and so important. So I just want to take a minute. It's not a very business topic, small biz entrepreneur distinction kind of topic, but I think it's something that's very important. And there's the problem, right? I see people steal this quote all the time, but Tim Cook is CEO of Apple, is the first one that says, if you don't pay for the service, you're the product. You're not the customer, you're the product. The customers of Facebook are the people buying ads on Facebook. We, the eyeballs that watch it and that click and that, we're the product that they sell to their customers, the advertisers. So part of what we have to realize is that these people are going to do right. They're a profit-based company. They're going to do right based upon what's right for advertisers, not necessarily what's right for you and me. One of the things I've noticed as we've promoted the upcoming summit is how much the ad rates on Facebook have gone up because of all the political buys leading up to the election. Again, it's just simple supply and demand. But nonetheless, that just shows you as an advertiser, you're competing against other advertisers. It's supply and demand, as I said. It's business. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with business. I love business. You are involved with a business. I'm involved in my business. Yet I think we also need to be sensitive about what we do and where it takes us in terms of a democracy, a society, how we get along with each other, how we respect each other. One of the shocking things in the documentary that really struck me is how the algorithms put that it feeds you more of what it knows you like. So if I like pictures of kitty cats, I'm going to get a lot more pictures of kitty cats in my news feed. In other words, my news feed is based on the algorithms for me. Your news feed and what you're watching on Facebook particularly is based on the algorithms for you. So if you like one conspiracy theory, guess what else shows up in your news feed? If you like one political candidate, guess what shows up in your news feed to reinforce and support what you already believe? And there's no indication there on what's true or what's not. You just get more of what you've liked. So let's say that you like Jane Doe, the local candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, and you've liked a couple of things that Jane has posted, and you like a couple of things her followers have posted, guess what's going to show up in your newsfeed? More about how great Jane Doe is. And conversely, more about how awful her opposition is. There's no regulation about the truth. Look, I know that what you consider to be true and what I consider to be true is always going to be flavored by the lens of our experiences that we are viewing the reality through. However, we've got to make certain that we have respect for each other as we disagree with each other. Charles, I'll agree with you. Jane Doe is no good for us or the U.S. And that'll probably be in all my Facebook things right now, right? Yeah, and you're right, Jerry. And Facebook owns Instagram, right? So they excel at it. Cookies are a powerful weapon in marketing. Man, they sure are. Isn't it amazing? I was just taking a little break and was playing around, and I thought, one of the things, as a kid, I took piano lessons, and there was music playing in the background of my office piano. So I looked up, I had no idea what it cost to get a little keyboard, and just kind of something during this crazy time. And for the last 3 days, everything I look at, there's pictures of keyboards. They're great. I just looked at it one time, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. There's everything. And it's incredible. We need to be aware of that. We need to understand that. For our businesses, we need to understand that, particularly to help us get to and develop more customers and prospects. But yeah, we have to be cognizant of what it does to us as a culture and a society as well. So, hey, I just want to recommend that. Check it out. It's called The Social Dilemma, and it's on Facebook. It's about Facebook, and it's about Twitter and social media. The Social Dilemma, and it's on Netflix. So I'd really recommend you check it out. Thanks to Larry and Mark for recommending it. And if you do watch it, please leave me a note on social media. How ironic is that? But leave me a note about what you thought of it. I'd really appreciate it, because it's really an incredible, powerful program. Hey, I know a lot of folks watch on the replay. A lot of folks jump on here a little bit late after we started. So may I remind you just one last time, because it's less than a week away. It's the Distinction Summit. We had a couple signups already this morning. Distinction Summit going on. It starts on Friday. We've got some great guests. My great friend Sage Steele from ESPN, my great friend Glenn Morshower, Larry Wingett, Mark Sanborn, Joe Calloway, my great pal Ken Walls. I mean, we've got a lineup that's unbelievable to help you develop your distinction blueprint. And I'll have more for you Monday, because I'm going to be doing a webinar with my great friend Blue Melnick. Blue and his wife, Barry Baumgartner, are the ones who produce and do the live virtual events for folks like Tony Robbins and more. And we're going to be talking about what the future holds with all this, and how all these folks are creating distinction. It's really going to be a terrific program. So we don't have the exact link and everything set up for that yet, but it's coming up on Tuesday afternoon about 2:00. So I'll let you know about that tomorrow. Hope you'll save a little spot for us Tuesday at 5:00 Eastern, 2:00 Pacific. And tomorrow night, don't forget what you tune in. It's the Ken and Glenn Show with a guy named Scott. It's coming up tomorrow night at 8:00 Eastern, 5:00 Pacific. Hope to see you there. We'll check in with you tomorrow as well during the day with the weekend check-in edition. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow on the next edition of Daily Distinction. See you then.